the live stream, so. It just takes me a minute. And everybody knows that to talk into the microphone, you have to press and hold the button on the right.
He was notified of the meeting. I don't care. Whatever is your pleasure. Pardon me?
No. I don't want it in there.
We have an attorney.
Okay, you're good to go. Okay, we're ready.
Call this meeting to order, the March 17th St. Patty's Day meeting of the Henry County Planning Commission. I'm going to start off with roll call. Dale Cole.
Here.
David Fisher. Here. Ken Gray's here. Marcia Gratner's not here. Okay. Jake Martin Jr. Here. Bobby Plummer.
Here.
Lori Pritchett.
Here.
Jason Roberts.
Here.
Terry Matney. Here. Danielle Hunt. Not here. No, she's our
Oh, Danielle,
extension office. Okay, and they may be coming in. And I'm going to let Tom Green, our zoning administrator, introduce our brand new members. I mean, we have 3 veteran people out of 9 here. And okay, let me look at. Why don't you go around and introduce yourselves, because we have brand new members. Terry and Lori, I think it's first meeting.
Yeah.
First meeting.
Yeah.
Yes. So starting with JR, he's fairly new, 2022.
My name is Terry Matney. I am the Prairie Township trustee.
Mm-hmm. Don't need to be known.
I'm Lori Pritchett, and I was appointed by Susa by the Surveyor's Office. Former kindergarten teacher.
No.
Shenandoah Elementary. Yes. Bobby Plummer. What?
Marcia's here.
Up. Okay. Okay, Bobby.
Bobby Plummer, Henry County Commissioner.
Jason Roberts.
Jason. And we're just introducing ourselves because we have so many new faces in 2022. You're fairly new, but not new.
Year?
Not 2022 new, but
Yeah, a year.
a year. You're new compared with the veterans that have been here 3 or more years. Yes.
What's her name?
What's your name and what do you do? Welcome again, Marcia, to 2020. This is your second meeting, and you didn't have to preside over the one in February
No.
because that was postponed. And Sean's here, and Tom's here. Tom, introduce your person to your right in the green. Okay, I'll push my button. Okay.
There, Bobby. She's the permits clerk, has taken Jody French's place.
Okay. Welcome, Amy. I think most of you may have gotten a phone call from her today reminding you of the meeting. So the new voice, I said Darren, then I said Tom, because it came up Darren Jacobs from 2 years ago. And she said, no, it's Amy. Okay. And Sean is our attorney. And Tom Green is our zoning administrator who used to sit here. And thank you for introducing yourselves and welcome to our second meeting of 2022. If everyone got the minutes from our January meeting, I'd take a motion to approve if there are no changes.
Second.
Okay, you're taking notes over there now? Moved and seconded? Okay, that's done. It's been moved and seconded. Any questions? Discussion? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed, same? Approved. Was there a notation, Tom? That was just a signature. We'll discuss that later. Okay, we have before us case B2251, Katie Modisette, asking for a commission-approved use, so that'll be one with the 3 questions at the end, for a kennel located in A1 Agricultural, north of New Lisbon. You want to come forward? And we have a live mic. Okay. And we'll have your presentation, then we'll have commission questions and answers, and then we'll open it up to the audience if they have any comments, pro or con, and we'll take a vote with the 3 questions. Go ahead and tell us what you're wanting to occur.
Okay. So I've worked with animals for my entire life. I'm the one that receives the texts and the phone calls from family and friends, and sometimes people that I haven't spoken to for many years when someone has a concern with their pet. So I've also been a resident of Henry County for my entire life. My family's pretty well known in the community, so if there's something that's going on with, animals, especially in the community, I usually know about it. So there's been several occasions that I've had people ask me, someone that has really no experience with grooming pets, to groom their animal because they're not able to get into a facility in the county because everybody's overbooked, or, there are some facilities that are not accepting even new clients because they're just overwhelmed with the ones that they already have. With that being said, for the past several years, I've shared my personal experience with my dog Henry online. Henry is an Australian Shepherd that is really reactive toward other dogs. Sometimes he's just straight aggressive toward them since he was 8 months old. So I've worked with him and spent countless hours training and, trying to get him comfortable around other animals so that there was no issues that happened there. Since I've shared that experience online especially, I get at least 5 messages per month probably from sometimes people I don't even know, just asking for tips and tricks on training their animal that has similar issues. So my experiences with Henry and in the veterinary community, because I am a veterinary nurse that works in Indianapolis right now, my experience with that has only further sparked, my desire to work with animals and train dogs to become a better version of themselves. So I want to help decrease the number of dog bite cases in the community and behavior related euthanasias, things like that. Recently, Country Acre Animal Clinic, one of the really well-known veterinary clinics in the area, has stopped boarding their pets at their facility. So with that being said, there's already a limited number of boarding facilities in the county, and that just decreased the number even more. Boarding is also really hard to find a place to get into right now. It's very hard to be able to book that for vacations or family trips or anything. Our facility is going to have the availability to board over 40 pets at one time. It's going to have 22 dog runs and 8 cat kennels. We'll be able to hold, if there's a multi-pet home, dogs can stay in the same kennel together. That's how that number can get up to 40. Because of our management team's experience as veterinary nurses and with behavioral issues with dogs, we're able to accommodate pets that have medical needs or, behavioral needs. We'll have areas that they can go into that they're not around other dogs to keep them more comfortable. And then we also have a dog daycare service that has no other business in the county provides this service. It's going to be where owners can drop their dogs off when they go to work and then pick them up on their way home. That's going to help to decrease energy-related behavioral issues so that they can, get their energy out during the day and play with other dogs and play with toys and things so they're not in a kennel for 12 hours a day while their owners are at work. So this business is going to be located on my property, which is close to the I-70 exit 131 between Newcastle and Centerville. Because of our we'll be able to attract pet owners from places like Richmond and Indianapolis, even Muncie, Greenfield, all the surrounding areas. And many owners, including myself currently, travel, sometimes an hour, over an hour away for work. So that commute, they'll be able to drop their animal off during the day or pick them up after their work for grooming or for daycare, anything like that. It makes it very easy for those owners and very convenient. Also, when I was in high school, I attended the Newcastle Career Center Veterinary Science program, and that is very near and dear to me. That's kind of what started my passion for animals and deciding that I wanted something to do with animals. I would love to be able to involve them in this business and, work with them and have them come out to, work with us. Because some of our management team are registered veterinary technicians, we are able to teach classes on restraint and things like that. We can use have the veterinary science community come and see our facility and work during the grooming hours. With that being said, community involvement is definitely a major priority for me. So as far as the building, the second and third pages of your packet that you have are going to have layouts of the building. So the second one is kind of an overview, like an aerial view of the whole building. The building is going to be 50 feet wide by 90 feet long. So the main section is 50 feet wide by 34 feet long. It contains an office, a lobby, training and daycare, cattery, laundry, kitchen, bathroom, 2 grooming rooms, all of that kind of stuff. Then the kennel area is going to be 18 feet wide by 56 feet long. The 18 feet wide is going to be a 6-foot long kennels with a 6-foot aisle and then 6-foot long kennels on the other side as well. There are outdoor kennels that are 6 foot long. Some of them, 16 of them are 4 foot wide, and the other 6 of them are 6 by 6. The 6 by 6 kennels are also going to be enclosed on the interior completely, so have all 4 walls, so that they, that's more of like a deluxe boarding that they can come in and have their pet be just by themselves and not worried about the sound and things like that. There are also going to be 4 exercise pens that are 20 by 28 for our boarding dogs, and a daycare run that is 20 by 34 for the daycare dogs. Each boarding dog is going to be rotated in and out of those exercise pens daily during their stay so that they can get more exercise and be out, and not just cooped up in a kennel at our boarding facility. They'll be able to go out and get exercise and play. We chose this location obviously because I live there, and because of the convenience of I-70 access, but with the business located right next to my house, I'm able to be there in case there's some sort of an emergency, or because we are, able to accommodate animals that need medical help. If there's a diabetic dog, for an example, that has to get insulin twice a day at specific times, I'm able to go give that because I'm right next door to the building. If there's some sort of emergency or there's something that needs to be done during non-operating hours, I'm able to be there. We plan to have grooming availability 6 days a week on an appointment basis, and then daycare from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. And then training classes would be scheduled by reservation. Our neighbors have been really supportive of this plan, would love to see it all succeed, as well as my family, friends, and obviously myself. So, yeah, thank you so much for your time and consideration.
Thank you. Are you in Prairie Township or Dudley? Dudley Township. Okay, thank you. Questions from Planning Commission members?
Yeah.
Are the walls closest to your neighbors, Kellums, I believe? Or is that for the dogs or the cats? The side that's closer to the neighbors, is that going to be the housing for the dogs or the cats?
Really all of the above, but he's here too, so.
Okay. So there's no major concern from the neighbors about barking dogs as long as you have soundproof sides and to the east. Other questions from the Planning Commission members?
So we're going to have drains along the back of all of the kennels that will lead everything to a septic system. That would be for that. The outdoor kennels we would be able to scoop and then have like a compost pile that would be able to use outside. So most of it would be in the drains on the inside kennels that would go into the septic system that we'll have.
If you're at full capacity, speaking of that, does the health department need to be involved in anything regarding this amount of waste, potential waste with this number of animals, or does that only affect the human side of what the health department does as far as drainage and septic and flood dose systems and all that?
I'd have to really ask the health department with a number this large and see what their advice is. I don't have that answer. We do have some guidelines above, I think, 8 animals, but I don't know that at what point does it become a matter for the health department, if it does. I'll check with them tomorrow.
Well, I would think this would be 50 times less of a concern than a CAFO, for example,
Yes, I think
given
so.
the size of the animals. Okay. So you're going to check with the health department? I have my
Yes,
doubts.
I'll
there's-
check with them tomorrow. Misty, did you happen to check with them to ask them if there was a size consideration?
I have not checked with them. I've been to the plantation office here, and I've been several places where I haven't heard anything about the health department, but I can't.
Yeah, I don't think I actually saw a number until now.
This is new construction for the septic.
Yeah, I think so.
If it's new construction, they'll have to approve.
If
That's
it is,
my understanding.
if it is new construction, they will. Yeah.
And it may not be applicable for the size of animals that you're talking about and the number of animals, but it'd be good to check and make sure that all that process is followed if this is approved tonight. Other questions from the, yes, Terry? It's mailed out, right, Tom? Letters were mailed out to neighbors, I believe, Tom? Tom? Letters were mailed
ahead.
out to all neighbors within a certain, and you've not received any
We have
comments?
we've had no phone calls, no letters from anybody.
I think the only one really affected by looking at the maps and the research that we were provided is Kellums. And I'm seeing heads shake that they are okay with it. We're okay. They're okay with it. That would be a good reason not to be overly concerned. Dale.
Yes, yeah, we are. Right around there, yep. Yeah, yeah.
Just, what, half mile east of 5 Points or on the north side? Okay. Dale, you have a question? On the right side. There you go.
Yes, Katie. It shows here that you have the ability to house around 50 pets. Is your buildings air conditioned?
Yes, there's going to be air conditioning. There's definitely going to be heat. There's going to be exhaust fans with fresh air exchangers. That way their animals are not sitting with an ammonia smell from their urine, things like that. So there will be fresh air exchangers and lots of ventilation for them as well. Yeah.
How long do you plan on keeping them? Have you got guidelines on how long you keep pets?
How long they keep pets? It's for the boarding part, it's probably up to a week or a week and a half or so.
And on grooming, you have schedules for that where people can call, make appointments?
Yeah, it'll be an appointment booking program. We will have a kennel software as well that they can download an app on their phone to be able to make an appointment, or they can go to our website and schedule an appointment there, or just call or text and we can schedule an appointment for them as well, for the training as well too.
A lot of people have dogs and cats.
Yes, definitely, especially with the COVID pandemic, everybody got a new animal while they were at home. So that also affected the veterinary community that I'm noticing a lot at my job in Minneapolis right now. So I know that that's affected as far as grooming and training and things too. There's COVID puppies are definitely something right now that's struggling that needs help and training because they haven't been socialized properly.
So really, all we're talking about is dogs and cats then, right?
Right, yeah, it's just dogs and cats, yeah.
I know we have to make appointments for our Shih Tzu to, like, a month or two in advance for grooming. And very few people can handle this dog because I think it maybe was abused during a grooming situation as a pup. And we finally found one that can handle him. And they're hard to find because it takes a
Yep.
special person with a dog of a certain temperament. But I said we have to schedule a month or two in advance because the demand is high and the supply is low, especially with the increased number of pets people have bought
Yep.
recently. So probably a great need out there for this. Other member questions? Yeah, Bobby? Things to research. You probably wanted to come here first and see if you got the green light so you can go to steps 2, 3, and 4. Other questions from commission members?
Yeah, definitely. I plan on leaving the veterinary community and working on this full time. I do have someone else that works with me in the veterinary community right now that would be taking over the grooming part of it. It's on the back of the first page. Her name is Gabrielle Gale. She's a registered veterinary technician that would help with the business side as well as far as, of course, family and friends would help out too. So, yeah.
So if you get started up, you think there might be some kind of involvement with the vet science program in the Newcastle Career Center as far as like internships or practicum or that kind of thing?
Definitely, yeah, I would love to do that. So Gabrielle Gale on there is a registered veterinary technician, so she's able to teach classes on restraint and things like that. So mandated by the state, she's allowed to do that. So we would be able to have veterinary science students from the Newcastle Career Center be able to come out and see our facility and work with some of the animals, if the owners are okay with that, and work with my own personal pets and things like that to be able to get more experience out in the community with animals.
I'm going to ask a personal question that you do not have to answer. You look familiar. When did you graduate from Newcastle, approximately? What decade? You went to Tri, but you went through the program.
Right, yeah, so 2016 is when I graduated.
Okay. We were sending our dogs through there because it was good practice and a very good rate to go in through that the vet program to do grooming.
Familiar to you because she's Missy Modissette's daughter and Enrico's niece.
And I know both of those, and that may have been where I seen you.
Sorry.
Yes, so, okay. I worked at Tri too before Newcastle, but okay. That wasn't too personal, I hope. Other questions from the commission? Marcia?
I plan on having it at least 60 feet back from the road, and then probably further than that, depending on as far as parking and things in the front. So it would be definitely pretty far back from the road. Yeah.
So, Tom, on the standards that you provide on the second to last page, it met all the A1 requirements in the code, minimum lot, minimum width, building height, setback, rear yard setback, structural setback, all those were met, I take it,
All
on that
those-
chart?
Yes, that's correct. Those were all met.
And in each direction, the land use was appropriate according to our A1 zoning?
Yes, that's correct. It's agricultural in every direction.
You received no concerns from the
No.
letters you sent out?
No letters from anybody and no phone calls from anybody in the area.
There were no flood hazards, tile open drain concerns, no special circumstances or relatives, septic for the sewer, no assumed well. Do you have a well for your drilled well or what for your water source?
We currently do have a well, we're looking into figuring out about if we're gonna attach it to the one that's already there, or if we're gonna drill a well.
Okay, but it is a drilled well.
Right, yes.
Okay. Other questions from the commission? Public, do we have any comments, pro or con, from neighbors or public, other than the hand up and the head shake yes, which I took as an affirmative, that neighbors were okay. Any other comments from the public? Last call for questions from the commission.
I
Dale?
hope her husband supports.
You support me? I hope your husband supports you.
That's good. We have 3 questions, I believe. Are we ready to vote on the 3 questions, commission?
Ready.
Okay, there's 3 questions we have to answer, yes or no, or yay or nay.
First question. This is for the commission-approved use. So if the answer is in the affirmative on all 3, then it's approved. So the first question is, the proposed commission-approved use is to be located in a zoning district wherein such use may be permitted. Dale Cole? Sorry. David Fisher? Kenan Gray? Marcia Gratner? Jake Martin? Bobby Plummer? Lori Pritchett? Jason Roberts? Question 2, the oh, I'm sorry, it's not on my list.
That was a last-minute addition.
Terry Matney? Yes. I didn't mean to leave anybody out, my bad. Question 2, the requirements set forth in the zoning district in this section for such commission-approved use will be met. Dale Cole? Yes. David Fisher? Yes. Kenan Gray?
Yes.
Marcia Gratner? Jake Martin? Yes. Bobby Plummer? Yes. Lori Pritchett? Jason Roberts? Terry Matney? Yes. Question 3, the proposed uses are consistent with the spirit, purpose, and intent of these regulations, will not substantially and permanently injure the appropriate use of the neighboring property, and will serve the public convenience and welfare. Dale Cole? Yes. David Fisher? Yes. Kenan Gray?
Yes.
Marcia Gratner? Yes. Jake Martin? Yes. Bobby Plummer? Yes. Lori Pritchett? Jason Roberts? Terry Matney? Yes. And the commission-approved use is approved, so congratulations.
Yes, congratulations. I think you're going to fill a need for our community, Wayne County and Henry County especially. Thank you.
Thank you.
Do we have any unfinished business, Tom?
Well, we kind of have some unfinished business from our attorney.
As I get a phone call from the people tearing up my basement right now, we did not vote on the approval of the contract. It would be the same terms as last year for me. I'm not going to increase rates or anything like that at this point. But, you know, it's been a pleasure serving you all in the community, and I'd be willing to continue on if you'll have me. So we did not formally vote on that last time, so there we go.
It's been moved to accept the contract for continuation of Sean Rowe as our PC attorney. It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? Is this something that we can look at the contract? I'm not familiar with it, because usually we do review.
For the last year, yeah. What I would just propose is the same terms as what was approved last year. I'm not changing any rates or fees or anything.
Okay, which is somewhat unusual, given inflation. Any discussion among, any comment or discussion before we take a vote or take a motion? We got the motion. Yeah, before we take a vote. I stand corrected. If not, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Welcome back.
Thank you.
Kenan,
Yes.
who seconded that?
Yeah, David Fisher did.
Thank
Sorry.
you.
Any other unfinished business? Tom?
No, I have no other unfinished business.
New business.
I have no new business.
Okay, Tom.
I have no new business.
Anyone else have any new business? We did the introductions. That was new business. We moved that up front.
Motion to adjourn.
Hold on. We got one more item, number 6 on the agenda. Or you would have gotten a second. Information from the zoning administrator. You have any?
No, I have nothing new.
Wait, just a second. I just have a question for our zoning administrator. Since we have so many new members, where are we at as far as training, professional development, anything in the works for the new members?
Yeah, I'm going to work on some of that, and I was waiting until we got Mr. Matney on board, so
Okay.
that
And we're
gives us somebody. And
No,
I'll be reaching out within the next week or so with some times that maybe we can get together. I'm trying to also arrange some meetings that are online that are presented by the group out of Indianapolis for Indiana Planning Association. They have some things coming up later in the next couple of months.
I think a good place to start would be the comprehensive plan that we passed, I think it was last year.
We can look at that. Yeah. I think everybody has, except for Mr. Matney, doesn't have a copy of the comprehensive plan that I've given him, but those are all available online. At some point, can you call me and set a time to come into the office? I can discuss some things. That'd be great.
I know this is the start of my 4th year. I know the training we got when I came on 4 years ago was invaluable. Not only did we get the 1,000-page zoning, but some professional development. I think the new members would really benefit from that. So thank you, Tom, for planning for that, for the new members. Any other new business before we turn it over to Dale?
Motion adjourned.
Second? I can't second. I'm asking for a second.